Narcotics.
What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back to another Willow Live. So, we are talking episode 4 today. I don't know. I liked it. There's some issues I have still with this whole series, but we'll dive deep into that. So, if you are in the chat, what's up? What's up? I'm going to bring on my guest for this amazing live, Ryan Milky. What's up, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. So, NFTs.
NFTs. Which ones? Because I only really care about a certain set.
Yes, I know that. So I did a little NFT live earlier, and I did hit a couple legendaries, so that was kind of cool. So we'll see what I'm going to do with it. Not sure yet. Did you? I know you weren't in the beginning of the stream. Did you get to see She-Ra? Because I put it together.
No, I didn't.
So I'm going to show you. So because I had to send it back because they messed it up. So I got her set up now. So there you go.
Very nice.
Here, let me blow this up. Because if I touch it the wrong way, it'll fall apart. Because that's what happens with these stupid things. There we go. So there's She-Ra.
That's sick. That's really cool.
Yeah, it came out pretty good. The back is very interesting because you can see the hole in the hair. So the what is this piece? What is this piece called again? I know Umpty said it earlier. I can't remember it again.
A claymore.
Yeah. So, but it holds it in. It's actually kind of a pain in the butt the way you have to put that cloak on. But yeah, it ended up being pretty cool. So, it's a good piece. Yeah,
it looks really nice.
Yeah, I do like it. I do like the Skeletor too, but the Skeletor one was definitely a little more animated looking, but it was supposed to be because it was from Revelations, which was on Netflix. That's the Kevin Smith one. Yeah, so what's up, Pop in Missouri?
Hey, Charles. How you doing?
But yeah, so what's going on, man? Anything good from last night? Was fun. Stay with Clips. That was a riot. I appreciate you guys having me on. That was awesome. It's funny how fast 2 hours can fly by when you have 5 or 6 people on there. Well, actually, we had 7 on there yesterday, but it's crazy. I went to bed. I'm like, oh my gosh, is this late already? It's crazy.
Yeah, because we would have finished by 11 for you, and then we hung out backstage for about 40 minutes. So yeah, it was quite late for you.
Yeah, I don't think
it was fun. It changed it up because it's quite a hard dynamic to run the live with so many people.
Yeah,
we kind of do pull it off with what I seem to be quite easy every week. It's weird how at the end of the live stream we're like, how did we get through that so easily? But yeah, we just come up with, I come up with the idea of agree or disagree, and I thought it'd be a good thing. Me and you were always conversating and talking with each other, so I thought it was a perfect kind of conversation starter for you as a guest, especially, and to get you and to introduce you to the guys as well and stuff. So I thought it was a great live, one of my favorite ones of the year. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun, and I say like you said, we got off so it was probably like midnight for me. And then I was up for a good hour making trades on NFTs too. So by the time I actually went to bed, it was like 1:30. It was ridiculous.
Crazy.
But yeah, so.
Congratulations to France before we get going. I want to say congratulations to France, because France won tonight, so they're going to be in the final on Sunday against Argentina. But that's where my congratulations for France ends, because unfortunately, I think Argentina are going to absolutely wipe the floor with them. Yeah, this is Messi's time to shine. This is Messi's time to become the world's greatest footballer of all time. And then, might I say, bow out gracefully?
Possibly.
Maybe he could win the World Cup and then retire straight after it.
Because the World Cup every 2 or 4 years?
Every 4 years, and the next one's in the US.
So, and how old is he right now?
36.
Yeah, so he'll be 40. I don't know. I mean, you're right. If he wins that, it may be time to just take all his millions of dollars and,
And one final thing was rest in peace to Twitch as well. It was horrible to read that today.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. You just never know, what people are battling by themselves. And yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. I mean, it's so funny because like his personality on TV was, such a
always making people laugh and funny and
people laugh, very easygoing. And I mean, I remember like I think he actually hosted for Ellen a couple times.
Yeah, dare I say he made Ellen enjoyable for me because sometimes I don't like Ellen. So
yeah. But yeah, that's it's just it seems like every couple of weeks, man, we have a couple of these deaths, and it's just like it just makes you really think about everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
I didn't want to turn the I didn't want to turn it down or anything. But
you're good, dude. No, it's I think it's important to say. I really do. Mm-hmm. So, all right, so we're gonna be talking Willow. I'm gonna do one
episode
of those.
4.
Yes, episode 4. And so, overall, what did you think about this one? Before we kind of deep dive into this thing,
can I ask you what you think I'm going to say before I give it? Just don't go off. Don't give your guess based on your opinion. Just go off what I said last week and stuff. Maybe I'll surprise you.
I think you probably like this one more because there's a little more nostalgia in it, but I still think that it was a slow episode. You know, to me, it almost seemed like a one-off episode to a series that, continues the storyline. Now it continued the storyline, but I just thought like, again, we'll get into it.
Yeah, you're right. I loved it.
You did like it.
I love this episode. Yeah, it's probably my favorite episode of the series so far.
Yeah, genuinely. I mean, I did enjoy it, but like I said, I just thought like it's amazing because if this was a movie, what we saw in 47 minutes would have been done in 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference between a television show and a movie. And like I said, there's definitely some issues I had. We'll get into that. But I did enjoy it. What'd you say?
The issues didn't go away. I enjoyed the aspect of what was told and what was shown, but what was said, that's where I have an issue.
Yeah, and that's what I'm just having a hard time with. I just the jokey joke princess is starting to really just drive me nuts. It's every episode now, like 3 or 4 stupid jokes, and it's just I don't know if they're even going to stop this. I get that they're trying to relate to a younger audience, probably. I mean, I enjoy the way they do these older songs and they kind of put them into this world, but it still doesn't feel right to me but I do enjoy like the remixes they're making because these songs are incredible. The ones that they're actually using, it just doesn't feel like Willow sometimes when you do that.
I feel like we get Willow sprinkled in here and there, and it's when you hear it and with the music, like the Willow theme is played. I think I've heard the Willow theme remixed somewhere in every episode this season.
Yeah,
but no, I completely agree with you. Yeah, it's.
But again, it is. I mean, it was good. I'm having a hard time with this just so far because I don't really care about going back and rewatching it. Like I saw it once. I'm like, I'm good. Now I'll watch next week. I won't go back and rewatch it. And I know you've watched it a few times.
Twice. I didn't rewatch it the third time, and like I said, I was going to because I actually got stuck watching Jon Snow at LA Comic-Con. So I was busy watching that. So I watched it twice, but I only watched it twice purely because we're doing these streams and I need to just have a little bit more understanding in my head.
Yeah, and since I literally just got done like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah,
and I paused it here and there and take a few notes because I think it's easier to kind of talk and go through the episode with a few notes. But I just I don't know. I mean, I highly doubt that I will rewatch it for your live on Monday. I mean, maybe, but I feel like I know what happened in the episode. And it's not that complicated, and it is an easy show to watch because there's literally like 6 characters in the show.
And while I was watching this episode, I was thinking to myself about Monday, and I was like, "Damn, Monday might be like a half an hour stream because much didn't happen and we didn't move." So like it's gonna be a quick stream probably on Monday night because going off the episode that we had and the things that happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you could break down, and like I said, this episode to me seemed like if this was in a movie, it would be like a 12-minute scene, and it would be over and done with. We would be moving on. It was just a little drawn out, but again, there were some really good parts too. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm not being. I try not to be negative. I'm just trying to be honest with how I feel about the show halfway through. So we're halfway done already. And
definitely, yeah. And you already heard I love this episode, so I'm definitely not negative towards the episode. It's more towards just where things are going. Yeah.
I just feel like not a whole lot has really happened in 4 episodes. So, but anyways, we'll start it off. So we get the opening scene. We pretty much leave right off. We rejoin the group right where we left off in episode 3 for the most part. The only difference is that we're actually inside Nagmar Castle, and we see that Graydon has been tied up. Now, if you don't remember, he got touched or zapped or whatever it was with the spell wand, whatever that thing was. And so he got he got almost like he's turning into like a possessed demon is I think the way they kind of portrayed it. So we kind of hear they talk about the ritual of the 13th night, which was basically what happened at the end of the movie Willow. When they're trying to send Allura to a different dimension or whatever it was. So that was kind of neat. I kind of forgot it was even called that. I was trying to think back to the movie too. If they even mentioned that in the movie, they probably do, but I just didn't remember. So, but then so we see Graydon tied up, and Borman goes something like, "You've been ravaged by a 300-year-old demon," and of course we get a cheesy joke. Well, be careful with that ravaged. Like, it's kind of unnecessary. It's just those little one-line jokes. Just I can't.
They lower the tone instantly.
It does. It ruins it. They're trying to make it almost like a dramedy more than anything else. Like, I don't understand why. Like, again, I know in the movie it wasn't that dropped down serious movie, but like when things were happening. Like in the original movie, like, do you remember like when Bavmorda comes out and she turns them out of pigs? Okay, the pig thing is kind of funny, but like there's a real chance that like they're just gonna die as pigs. Like you don't really know what's gonna happen at that point. And I haven't felt like that in 4 episodes. And the couple characters that have died, for the most part, I don't even remember their names. So I don't know. So. How'd you feel about the beginning here and that little
instantly disappointed right at the beginning? I was instantly disappointed because I wanted to see how they got inside the castle.
Yeah,
we were instantly given them sat down in the castle. I was like, whoa, you ended it last week. There was a massive vortex. There was a massive void in front of you. You've even called back to episode maybe 2 it is when the small dude that's killed at the end, Willow's friend, he has a conversation with the female, and they say that to get there, you don't get there. You travel south or you travel west. You completely avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
So they bigged it up, and then we get to this episode and we were just inside. I was like, that was a bit anticlimactic. I was actually expecting to see a struggle getting there.
Yeah, and I was actually a little confused. I'm like, wait, why is this dude tied up?
Where are we? Yeah, where are we?
Yeah, like I almost forgot what happened at the end of the episode because I was expecting them to walk toward the castle then, but they like are just there inside like the throne room or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a little strange, but I mean, whatever. I guess
bit confused by it, but then I kind of settled in and realized where we were staying here for the long haul, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, the whole episode is takes place inside the castle. Then we make mention that the group, or there's mention made by Borman. He's kind of looking for his. So I don't know if I was calling it wrong last week because I had the subtitles on, and he calls it the Lux Arcana or Arcana. I guess it would be
Lux Canon.
Is Lux Canon? Is it Canon?
That's how I determine it.
Because when I had because I didn't have the subtitles on last week, and that's how I want to make sure I got that right. So when I was reading the subtitles, it said it was called the Lux Lux Arcana, Arcana, like Arcana magic. Yeah, I was like, wait, I thought it was canon. So and then actually later in the episode, it says it again in subtitles. So Arcana, canon. I mean, I guess they're similar, and with his accent, and it makes it a little bit hard. But yeah, so
I'm just skipping through the episode right now. I've got the subtitles on, so I was trying to find it. But yeah, there were some weird words said, like Vermirax. Did she say Vermirax? I thought she mentioned a dragon from House of Dragon. Allura. She said something about Vermirax. I was like, what? I was peaked. Lux Cannon, I think it is. Lux Cannon camera.
So so quick draw says Lux Canon camera. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, when the subtitles came up, it said Arcana. So I mean, it would make a little more sense. I mean, it's not really a cannon. I mean, it looks like I said, it looks like a lightsaber hilt, but I don't know. Interesting. So I don't know what you want to call it, but whatever. The Lux thing, whatever. He makes mention that he kind of mentions that they still don't know that he actually found it. Yeah, I think the group is actually talking about it, that they would even find the artifact they were looking for, because he kind of took it without anyone knowing. So they do make mention of that, and that comes to play a little bit later on. We see then this was kind of neat too. So we see we find out that the crone are actually the ones who turn Bev Morden into like the evil witch or evil queen or whatever you want to call her. So I thought that was a nice little callback and a little extra information, because I don't know if we really truly knew that in the movie, and I don't think we did.
I think that's Disney's way of trying to continue the story away from the movie.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, at least it makes sense,
They're connecting a made-up entity to the evil of the movie, so that we can tell the storyline that the true evil in the movie wasn't actually evil. She was turned evil by this thing. It could be an old-fashioned fleshlight, for all we know.
It could be. We don't know. We don't know what they created.
That comment makes me. Surely you have to have watched it, because it's a very accurate representation.
It does look like
it actually looks like.
It does look like.
So you must be watching the episode. So thanks for being here, buddy.
Really quick,
Nadia, thank you for dropping links. You're amazing.
Yeah, let me say hey to Nadia, and we did mention Poppin. Missouri's here in a quick draw, so appreciate you guys being here. But again, and that's fine if Disney wants to go back, and at least we have a little background information, because it never really was said. So I thought that was at least interesting. So they decide that they are going to, or I guess Willow decides that they are going to try to perform an exorcism on Graydon. So he trying to gather all these supplies, and again, some of this teenage bickering back and forth with the adults, and then even with themselves, and I don't know. It's just weird. It just doesn't seem like it fits. It seems like it fits. Like they're trying to make it relate to, kids of today, and to a point, I get it, because you want to bring a new audience in, but they're just making it not seem like Willow. Like honestly, if Willow wasn't in this, it wouldn't even be Willow. I mean, it would just be. Yeah,
I think I've said that previously. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. Can I just say, this is probably a short comment from me, but
sure.
I enjoyed Jade in this episode.
Did you?
Yeah.
See, I think his acting is awful.
Jade.
Oh, Jade. Oh, I thought you said Graydon. I'm sorry.
No, Jade.
Jade was fine, but again, it's
Jade. But I hadn't. Like I said last week, she could completely not be in the show, and I wouldn't care. This episode, I actually enjoyed her performance. But Kate's off. Don't even get me started on Kate.
Her character is just so. I don't know. What are the kids calling it these days? Is it emo or something? I mean, it's just out of place. It just seems weird. I don't know.
She said, I don't know. It might be a bit further in the episode, but I think she says, "Oh shit," in this episode.
No, that was Borman, I think.
No, I thought it was her. I thought she said, "Oh shit," when she ran to the door. When he was trying to get in again, when it was barricaded, and she was talking to her in the room. And then I know
Borman says it
this
too.
This is a Disney. I thought this is Disney, and she said it. So a bit confused.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a huge problem with it, but I did notice it, because there's not much swearing in the original Willow either. But that's fine, whatever. So I don't know. We could leave off it. So they're gathering all these materials, and Willow's kind of teaching Alora. So it's kind of cool to see Alora go through some training a little bit, even though it's not really much. It's really just saying words. I mean, there's nothing else that they're really doing with her as far as the training parts of this. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I was wishing or hoping that we would see. I don't know. I guess there's. I mean, when is there time for training? I guess if you're in the middle of all this crap, Like,
what is training to a magician? I don't really get it.
I mean, think of Harry Potter.
Willow has his staff. Willow has his staff. He doesn't do anything without his staff. Have you noticed that?
Why is that though? Yeah, that's another thing. And then every time he's
not using anything.
He's what?
Alora isn't using anything. He
True.
has a staff, which is a magical. I would say a magical artifact that carries magical essence.
Yeah.
Not Willow, but I don't understand how she is magical. Like, is it if any of the kids in the group said those words, would they not be able to do the same thing? It feels that way. So they're not making her feel powerful enough to me. I mean,
she's got that wand. I mean, eventually she's going to take it and use it, and we'll probably see some huge scene. Like
good point. I forgot about the wand. Yeah.
But I mean, I just think that she is, they keep saying that she's like almost like the chosen one or whatever. I can't remember exactly the term they used, but there's a reason why Bad Morta wanted to get her out of there. And like, again, we talked about it last week, that she didn't want her dead because she would just be reborn into somebody else, that her essence or whatever. That's why she wanted to banish her to a different dimension.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, but I'm just agreeing with what you're saying. So it's like a magical essence that is taking over her human form body. So yeah. Okay.
I think that's basically what you're saying, because I mean, she was the one who was supposed to be able to defeat Bad Morta, and we kind of get into it a little bit, which we'll get to the end of the episode, which was really, really cool, because that was my favorite part.
Really juicy episode, yeah. Really juicy ending.
Yeah, it was really good.
Sorry, I probably keep taking you off track all the time.
Oh no, you're good, dude. I mean, that's what we're here for. Just talking. I just write down the notes just to kind of keep us in order of the episode or whatever. So I mean, we can talk whatever you want. That's why these are nice, because it doesn't really matter if we go in order. Because again, I just literally watched it, and I'm still kind of thinking about what happened in different parts. And if I don't take notes, I'll skip things. So.
Well, I have it open as well, so I can always just I'm flicking through it as we're talking.
Oh, okay. So
Nadia says that she hasn't watched Willow because she doesn't have the channel. Nadia, you just got to message me, darling. Just message me on Instagram and I can fix that. And yeah, Quick Draw says chosen one. Oh no, hope Willow doesn't leave her burnt at a lava pit. You have the high ground now, Willow.
Not yet. He was sitting on the throne. Did you notice that? He's like
sideways.
Yeah, like chilling like this. He's like, yeah, I own this place. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I kept thinking, I'm like, Willow on the Iron Throne, maybe.
Did he get picked up to be put on it? Like,
yeah, I know. How did he get up there? And there was one quote I did write down because I thought it was pretty funny. And see, this type of joke I'm good with. I just feel like they need to leave the comedy to Borman, because he's the only one who really does it right. Even though sometimes it's almost every single time he opens his mouth, which gets a little bit annoying. But he did say when they're talking about the that he Graydon is very contagious, and Willow's like, yeah, there's like goo and mucus and all that, and it's like don't eat the goo or something like that. And Borman goes, yeah, don't eat the goo and stay out of the high tower. So the way he said it was really funny. He's like, got it. So I just thought Borman's I think Borman's probably my favorite character right now.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
I mean, I like Definitely. Willow, but it's not the same Willow that we know.
We're not getting enough. We're not getting enough Willow.
Yeah, it's not enough, and he's almost like the get off my lawn Willow, because it's just he's a little bit negative, I find him a little on the negative side. And actually, when we're about to get to that scene, because I was like, why would he do that? I didn't see it. Okay, well, we'll just talk about it. So I'm trying to think of how far down that was.
So he sends them out to go for Essence of Nightshade, doesn't he? He sends them to go. They need Essence of Nightshade to do this ritual, and she says, "Oh well, we need to go and get it from the animal of something and then cook the spleen.
Yeah, and you get the essence.
Crazy. Yeah.
And then we do get a weird little interesting scene with Kit and Jade, where they're talking about Ballantine, and again we just get like teenage bickering, like between two people who are dating almost. That's what the scene was like. It's like just little bickering, and I don't even know how necessary it was. But they do talk about, because they early on they do mention that Kit would possibly have to be the one to kill Graydon if the exorcism doesn't go well. And I think it's Borman who says, well, it's not as easy to kill someone when they're not defending themselves. So I did like that. I thought it was good. I said I really like Borman. He's definitely. I mean, I can see they're trying to make him like Matt Mardigan in a way, but he's still a different character, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
We kind of jump back and forth between characters at this point because they kind of all split up looking for different things. Borman finds this vault, which we never actually get to see what's in there, which was a little disappointing because I was like, okay, here we go. But we hear voices, and you don't really ever find out either, like what that was about, like for those two voices. Now maybe we will down the road. Maybe it's two voices that he knows of, because it seemed like a lot of people were hearing voices and they kind of end up knowing who or what they are. But for him, we never end up finding out who, unless I totally missed something. I don't think we ever find out that is.
I don't think we saw, but I don't know. I've got a weird feeling that he got in.
You think he did get in and we just didn't see it?
Yeah, I think he took something that maybe will come into play.
Okay,
as a flashback or something.
Which that'll be a decent little twist, because honestly, I wasn't even thinking of that. I kind of almost forgot about it altogether because he kept saying he has to go back there, but then we never see him. So that's a good point. So maybe he did get in there and something happened. Yeah, So we'll see. Because
we did see him take the Lux capacitor or Lux cannon. Lux capacitor.
Lux capacitor. I like that. That's easier to say.
He took the Lux cannon. We've seen him take the Lux cannon, but he told the people he hadn't taken it. This time he could have took it and not told the viewing public that he took it. It could be a reverse flip. Yeah. Because in this same episode, they literally have that conversation. You know, she says to him later on, "You told us you didn't get anything." You know? True.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be a double whammy.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good little twist too.
If you're listening, Disney, make it happen.
There you go. I'm sure they are. They know who Headless Horde is.
Mickey Mouse has followed. Mickey Mouse has been Milky for a long time.
And then I make a note here. I put Kid is still annoying, and there must have been something she said that I'm just like, yeah, Kid is just annoying. And again, it's just a constant like little bickering and everything, you know. So, what's up, Johnny? What's up, Kenneth? How you guys doing, man? Thanks for coming, dudes. So
line did make me laugh. One line made Alora. Somebody, they were running over, they were trying to get back to somewhere, and he said, "How do you know where you're going?" And she said, "I was born here." She was a baby.
Yeah, I know. But I think that's all.
How did she know how to get around?
I know, but that's also taking a stab at Kit, being like, "Well, at least I've been here before, you haven't." Because those two are definitely. I like that relationship. I like how they're bickering back and forth, and I still feel like, even though Laura is in love with her brother, there's something there between her and Graydon. Graydon as well. There's something going on. You could tell. At least I think so. Because every time they have a conversation, I just feel like there's something. Now, in this episode, we end up finding out something else that happened. So then maybe that's why. But even in the previous episodes, I thought that there might have been like some type of relationship or something like that with them. It may be happening. I don't know. Let's see. Where are we at?
Quick Joe said it's like Luke training Rey all over again. Dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I get so many Star Wars references in this. It's unreal.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are just quite a few. And
I'm going to do a video when the season's finished on how many Star Wars things I found And it's just going to be from my point of view. I'm not going to watch anyone else's videos, because you could go out there and find YouTube videos and they'll find every Easter egg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want to do it just from what I personally find, because I'm not a massive Star Wars fan. You know, so it'll be fun to see how many are literally out there for the common viewer to see.
Well, it's too bad too, because it's the annoying Star Wars Easter eggs they're using. They're not even using the good ones. So we find out that so they start the ritual on Graydon now. They have all the supplies and essence of spine or whatever they're collecting, and they cut open. I don't know why they had to do this, but they did. They cut. Well, I guess they needed to see the wound. I guess that's what they were doing. So they cut off Graydon's shirt, and to get to the wound, to apply this medicine or whatever. And we find out that Graydon has like, I guess there's a ton of scars all over his chest. And, so we're not really sure what was going on. But we do see all of a sudden then, after they begin the spell, we see Graydon kind of have like a vision. And now I don't know. Do you know who these two people are? I was assuming it was like a dad and a brother.
I believe it's his father.
So in the first vision, who was the older guy?
The guy with the crown.
That was his father.
I believe that was his father, and then I think that the other one looked like him very much.
But
with the weird eyes.
But later on in the episode, we see him again, and then we see the young kid. And he's
maybe I missed it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, because like I originally thought it was his father and then his brother. So
yeah,
maybe later on in the episode it was his brother and then him, because he was the younger kid. So he actually was not in that first vision. That's what I think. I think it was his brother, and then his father was the older person.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, chat. If you guys watched it, the first vision that Graydon has, the two people he sees the older guy with the crown, which I believe was his father, and then another guy. I assumed it was his brother. So let us know if you watched the episode and who do you think those two people were. But anyways, so go ahead.
If I'm able to share it with you, I will. If it allows.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll pull it up.
I thought he was part of Play Man sigil from the Bolton.
Yeah, right. Play Man, that's right. All right, so move it forward so we see the scene.
So yeah. If I can play it back at slower speed. I don't want to get copyrighted for it.
No, it's fine. Just it's you have to go further. Here it's like right here. He'll see the image. Just a little further. Quick says it's probably a brother. That's what so right here. So here, like there's that guy right here. So I'm pretty sure that's his father, and I think we met him in the first episode.
I believe that's his father too.
And then if you keep moving forward, there's another guy he's talking to. So and he does look like him kind of.
Give Galadun an heir with the claim of Tiralacine. And then we'll go another 4 seconds. Redeem yourself from what you stole from me.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
It wasn't me. You can do this.
Yeah. I believe that's his brother. It's got to be his brother, because then we find out what happens later. Yeah. So that makes more sense. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So we get all that then. And then we go back to Kit, and we then hear that she's now hearing voices. Almost like she's looking at this. I think she was like looking at a painting or something. And
it looked like a tapestry, like a cloth tapestry.
Right. And she hears all these voices of like younger version of Bavmorda. And then we kind of find out, they kind of suck her into the evilness or whatever you want to call it. But again, is this cool because now we're getting some callback to the movie and the older characters. So it kind of starts right here a little bit. So I
liked it.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah. And, I don't know. I mean, they may have pulled voices from the original because I know some of the lines were repeated from the original movie.
Yeah, it felt like it was just click and drop MP3 file. And
that's what I'm thinking too. Because at first I'm like, oh man, sounds just like her. And then I'm thinking later on, we see more. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of like the same words over and over again they used, which is fine. At least we get the original voices.
Quickjaw makes a good comment there in the chat. He goes, hey, she could have gotten the whole layout of the castle memorized while she was floating down that river as a baby.
Outlining it in her map, she's making a map of it in her head.
Yeah. Quickjaw, you're a good thinker. And keep watching because the invite's there for episode 10. When we get to the end, you can come up and chat with us.
Heck yeah, man. Definitely. Episode 8, actually.
Episode 8, yeah. I just assume everything's 10 because that's what we get with Game of Thrones. And I feel like 10 episodes is always a good way to tell a decent story for a season. I feel like with 8, you have to rush.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like I said, we're already halfway done.
Yeah, it's hard because you take the first 2 to introduce characters and the world and the realm, and then you've only got 6 left, and then you can't really tell a story.
And like 4 or 5 is the thick of it, and then you have the cliffhanger usually or whatever it is in the last episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they continue the spell on Graydon, and they do, and we then hear him speak like Mad Mardigan. Hey, Peck, give me some water. At least that's what I thought it was because this was the exact line that Mad Mardigan says to him. Did you think it was Mad Mardigan there?
Yeah, I thought it was Mad Mardigan talking to Willow, trying to tease him in.
Yep, trying to tease him to let him go or whatever. Yeah. So, that was
very
cool.
Sauron-esque. Might I add? It was very Sauron-esque.
Yep.
And maybe I want to see more of that in the season 2 of Rings of Power. I want to see Sauron manipulating people and doing things like that. Because in the books, he shapeshifts and he turns into an elf and he's mad. So I want to see all that stuff. But yeah, going back to Willow, it was really cool and it gave me those feelings. And probably another tick in the box to why I like the episode. Yeah,
and this is where I really started liking the episode because I'm like, oh, we're getting a bunch of callbacks now, and that was kind of cool. Now hopefully they continue that a little bit or down the road or something with that because it has to be a reason why he's like why would he do that? Like how would he becoming a demon know? I mean, I guess that's the whole thing with the show is that we don't really know not much about this
the
demon crone. Yeah, I mean, we know that he kind of turned Van Morda and all that, and that's actually explained a little bit further down in the episode as well. But yeah, I mean, it's just I like it. It's cool. So after he's done speaking that, I think we hear he then becomes Eric almost, right? Isn't that what he speaks as Eric, Kit's brother, who's captured, and we find out he's kind of locked up in a cell and. I mean, they kind of leave it there at that point. But so we've now seen Graydon's parents or his dad and his brother. We've now heard from Mad Mardigan. We've now heard from Kit's brother. So they're using all these different, I think, images and voices to kind of like, make the group feel for him a little bit so they're not going to kill him maybe. I mean, that's kind of what I got out of it, I guess.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it was, it was also just paying homage to a lot of the stuff for the old viewer coming back and the nostalgia and stuff. So,
and then after that, we actually hear him speak like Willow's wife, and something happened here because at one point Willow kind of throws a rag in his mouth because he doesn't want talking anymore. So I'm thinking something happened in that village with Willow's wife, possibly now that even links back to his son. So maybe he did something, and
Willow is definitely hiding something.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there's something going on, and at least that will explain the change in that character. Because at this point, this is when I really started liking the episode because now I kind of saw what they were leading to, and it's a little bit kind of thrown in your face. It's like it wasn't too hard to figure out, But again, when you only have 6 characters as your main, your main cast, it's not going to be difficult to figure out. But I do like that because it explains why Willow's been acting the way he has, because he's not been acting like the same character that we know in the movies.
Yeah, I'm literally trying to skip through it just to see if I can find it. But what was even said to him, because it was quite a revelation.
She was saying
it's not
something that happened in the village. I don't remember the exact, I didn't write down the exact quote or anything like that, but yeah, he talking like her definitely makes mention that Willow did something and messed up in the village. So I'm curious now, because I know one of the theories that were thrown out the very first live. I can't remember who it was now, so I apologize. Maybe it was Umpty. I don't remember, but he had said that he thinks that the sun is maybe the one causing this. Well, if Willow did something with magic,
let's share it, because I've got it. Oh, I've got it up, and we won't play it. We'll go through it scene by scene.
But if he did do something and he ended up killing his wife, and his son is that mad, then it makes it interesting.
First thing he says is, "You shouldn't be doing this, Dada." So it's his daughter that's speaking to him.
That's his daughter, right?
So we're 39 seconds. So we're going to jump to 41, 46. Shut up. Tell her the truth. Did we miss anything? You shouldn't be doing this, Dada. And then, is there something that you're not telling me?
And that's Allura. That's Allura saying it to Willow.
So yeah, 46 and 49. So is that all he says? You shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. So I mean,
all he says.
He doesn't say much. I mean, there might be another line we skip, but for the most part, yeah. So it does kind of make sense that, because he did not want Allura to know, and we know she'll find out, and we'll find out, and at least it'll explain what's going on a little bit and why we didn't see his wife, why we didn't see his son. So, thanks, Umpty, for stopping by. Yeah, definitely, check it out later after you're done watching the episode. I think we agreed that we both liked it. I think we're probably going to end up rating this as our highest episode, even though I still had a few issues. But again, here's the thing, Ryan. I wish that, and this goes the same thing for the last episode. I wish that they would. I don't want the episodes to be shorter. I just want more, because I feel like every episode so far is started off so slow, and then it's almost rushed at the end. Why can't we even that out a little bit? Because even this episode, I'm like, okay, the first 15 minutes, okay, fine, we're in the castle, and it's just jokey joke, and then all of a sudden the last 20 minutes is fire, and that's my biggest complaint right now about the last 3 episodes. Even the first episode, I didn't have a problem because I knew they had to set it up, but even episode 2 was the same thing. The first half an hour was, let's get going, let's do something, and then we get to the end with the village and everything else. So I don't know.
First of all, I want to say hello to Anthony Blaze in the chat.
Oh yeah, what's up, Anthony?
Thanks for being here. He says "sup fellas" in a Seamus voice. So yeah, shit fellas, like proper Irish,
I had my cursor. I had my cursor on him, so I didn't even see that. That's why I didn't say it.
What you just said then, I've already heard you say before, and I will go back to. You said it about Rings of Power. How it was slow at the beginning of every single episode, and it was, and it kind of gave us a crescendo at the end of every episode, and they were an hour long.
The problem with this one is I feel like it's the same pattern every episode where we gotta have jokes, and then it gets serious. But Rings of Power, it wasn't like that. Like Rings of, I don't remember. I don't think I saw Rings of Power. It was slow in every episode. I just thought that overall the show was a little bit slow, but I understood why, because the payoffs were so good.
Maybe I was the one that said it was slow in every episode, but I know that
because in that show there's so many other characters.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like this series, we bounce back and forth, but it's because they split up, but they're in the same area, but they all split up, and it seems like it's it's just now 2 episodes in a row where they've done it like this. So
yeah, no, I completely agree. It's just where we're going. It's definitely a good episode, but I don't know what we're going to do next week from here. Now, from here right now, I don't know what we're going to do next week. So I know we've not finished the episode breaking it down yet, but
I'm not even sure what they're. I have a couple ideas, but yeah, we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Where did we leave off at? Okay. So Laura wanted to know more about what was going on with Willow, and again, so now I mean, it makes sense because he's like, well, if you're not going to help, then just go away. He basically sends her away because she kept asking the questions, and he's basically like, if you're not going to help me, and you're going to keep asking me these questions that I'm not going to tell you, then just go away. And it's like she just goes away. Like, is it because she's young? Is it because is it this bad writing? Like, I don't know. Like, you're supposed to be this great sorceress, and you're supposed to be learning. Why don't you just drop everything and you help him? You know, again, it's that Gen Z attitude where if you're not going to listen to me, I'm just going to go do my own thing. And that I think that's just a really irritating part for me for the show is I don't like how they're trying to blend it. I wish they would just, I don't know, because again, we don't know like technically when this takes place in time or whatever, years or whatever, but it's like she's like a worse Laura right now is for me. Like in this episode, she was a worse version than like whiny Sansa, and we know how much you love Sansa.
Yeah,
like that's what I was getting from her. Like, and then then she comes back.
I hate Kit. I hate Kit, and Laura's strange.
Yeah.
Like I wanted her to fight back when Willow kicked her out. I wanted her to fight back and say, "No, I'm here to learn."
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, we still got 4 episodes. Again, I don't want the chat to think that we're being like, we're trying not to be negative, but like we're just criticizing it and we're giving our honest opinion. But I think overall, like if we didn't like it, we would stop watching it. So I like it enough to keep going because I've definitely watched some shows where I'm like, I'm 2 episodes in, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. So it's interesting enough to keep it going.
Yeah, I fear for the show that makes me do that because I pride myself in if I start it, I finish it.
Yeah.
So that I have an honest opinion because I don't want to leave a show halfway through, say, yeah, that's rubbish, and then it actually gets better, or other people say, oh, no, it's actually good, you should watch it to the end, and then you've got to revisit it all over again and all that. So for me personally and for the channel, I know if I started this, I'm going to finish this.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it gets really, really bad next week and it's like terrible, I'll still finish it off. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it's terrible. I just don't want it to like. I don't know
what it could do to turn me off. To be honest, I'm watching it and I'm actually enjoying watching it. I'm looking forward to next week.
I do, and it is an easy watch. And it's not like it's not bad. It's just I guess it's just not as it's not Game of Thrones. It's not
Rings of Power. What I was expecting.
Yeah, it's just a lot different than what we expected, I think. But yeah, I mean, but like I said, I mean, overall, this was a really good episode.
Definitely, it's my best episode yet.
Minor things. Again, I think it's really just it's them trying to blend it to today. There's too much blending, but it is what it is. So it's Disney. What can you do?
Yes, Willow kicks her out of the room, and she goes and sits outside with Kit, and then they're talking about all sorts of stuff. And Laura's like, she can't really save anybody. She doesn't feel like she's worthy and all this, and then she runs off, which is like, oh my god, how many times are you going to do this, girl?
I know, and yeah.
And then Kit chases after her, and she even says the line, "I can't lose you again." So she's even the words that are being expressed as lines are frustrations as a viewer, and I feel that's where the disconnect is. But I'm not going to go negative with it, but that's just where we are in the episode right now.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how a 25-year-old or even a 22-year-old who's watching this, who maybe has seen the movie once or something, and just see. I'd like to know what their opinion of it would be. Just
know somebody's opinion that hasn't seen the movie.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I don't know how many people are actually watching this who didn't see the movie though. I mean, unless you're like teenage kid, and you don't care about going back and watching a movie that you think
it's on Disney Plus, and so is
it is.
I would assume that because Disney Plus is on the movie too, people will have watched it.
Yeah, but again, if I'm a 18 or 19-year-old kid who's just trying to watch something on TV and I don't care about the lore, I don't know. It's just an interesting show that they decided to make. 25 years later or something, and they're trying to make it for an audience that literally wasn't even born yet, because that's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyways, but again, I think we're both enjoying it enough.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like the worst thing ever. It's just weird, a little bit weird. So then I think we're kind of floating into the area now where, like you had mentioned, Alora kind of leaves. She goes to see Kit, and they're talking and bickering again like usual. And eventually Alora leaves, and she kind of starts hearing her own voices, and she ends up seeing her mother. And this was cool because it was actually it was really neat how they did this, because they did this quite a bit throughout the rest of the episode, where they took the old scenes from Willow and
superimposed it.
He superimposed it with fog and mist and smoke and whatever to make it look like a dream or a vision. And it was really cool because it was the actual scenes in the movie. So we relive. She lives the fact that her mother gets killed, and then it's weird because the mom kind of changes some of the lines because it's almost like she sees her almost.
She's looking at her, and it's like when she was. What we see as the viewer is Alora looking on to her mother in the birthing bed,
right,
giving birth to Alora, and what we see is Alora's mother is looking at Alora present day as if she's seeing it as a prophecy, like, oh my God, she is fully grown, she is beautiful, she is everything. But clearly she wasn't there at the time.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know how they're make it connect through the ether of magic that she has, maybe. But yeah, it was a really, really cool way of doing it.
It was cool. And again, I just hope we get more information of why that happened. Because, I was like, okay, maybe is she seeing, is the mom seeing, the baby get taken away? But, you're right. She says, oh, you're all grown. And I'm like, well, that can't be then. That would make sense.
I believe it was the magic it was the evil magic within the castle that was making her see these things. Yeah.
I know, I agree, and because they were doing this throughout the episode, trying to, separate the group. Number one, and and then we find out later on.
So just a little step backwards, and I want to get your thought on something. When she burnt the tapestry, when she burnt that whole tapestry thing down.
Oh yeah. Kit did.
Was that a secret door? Was there a tunnel behind that?
It didn't. I thought that's what it looked like. That's what. And I don't know. Is that how she got into the room where Jade was? Because when Jade runs into that room, she barricades it, and when they go back to that area, it's also barricaded.
Kit's in there though already, and I'm like, oh okay.
But this is Kit burns it first, and then she sees Jade, which we haven't got to yet. But I think that's what they were saying. It was like a secret passage almost.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Again, I mean, I don't know for sure because she just appears, but that's kind of the way I thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was the really cool scene. So we see Jade, and again, so basically Jade in this episode, for the most part, is just kind of patrolling the outside area, making sure there's nobody coming for them. And then out of nowhere, you see this smoke and puff and same kind of the same kind that Alora saw, and we see General Kale come out. Now that was awesome. General Kale comes out. Obviously, it's not him because a real actor, I believe. Oh, actually, is this? I think he is. I think he did pass away. I think I looked this up last week. But he's got the skull mask on. He comes in, so they start fighting a little bit. She runs away, barricades herself in the room. But it's great because General Kale is saying all his lines, because he doesn't have that many lines in the movie. But what is the one line he says when he's chasing her down? The word "die" is thrown in a couple of times. I can't remember now. I can't remember his line now. It's gonna kill me.
I'm literally at it. I'm trying to say it.
Yeah, see if you can pull it up. But no, so this was really cool. So again, a nice little callback. So we've now gotten Bev Morta's voice. We've now seen Alora's mom. We've got a callback to Willow's family. So this was really cool because it kind of brings it all together. And being in that castle, it makes sense that there's some type of magical presence or something in there, and so it kind of draws it all together. You have it up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So there's General Kale coming out like of the smoke and fog and whatever the vision is. Now it's funny because like was she actually fighting him or was it just a vision? And why would she see him? That's another interesting point because now I'm starting to think maybe are they related?
Does he say anything? What does he say to her?
He says something. He says one of his big lines right when he comes out.
No, it's not captured on.
It's not coming up.
No, because this is to play 3 seconds of it and pause it, and nothing's said because she just runs away. Or she's running at him.
I thought he said something like right after he knocks her down. So their swords are hitting. So
yeah, so there's somebody there, like an actor.
Just play it for like 3 seconds.
Now you die.
Now you die. Yeah, he says that. Yeah, that's it. He says that to Eric in Willow in the original.
Yeah.
When he fights him. Yeah.
And sorry to everybody for that it was skipping. It's just that we're just trying to keep away from copyright.
Yeah, I wanted. I really that was the line. That was cool. Yeah. But yeah, that was my favorite scene of the episode. I mean, that was awesome to see him. But it's short lived because she ends up running into a room, barricades it, and we don't see him the rest of the episode. But it'd be interesting. Like I'm trying to figure out like why did she see him, and that's what I was thinking. Well, maybe somehow related somehow. I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't know. What did you think? Just did you think about that at all, or not really?
No, I didn't think anything of that. No, I just thought it was a jump scare. It was just giving I felt like it was just a way to give every character some sort of. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, and she's like, maybe it's because she's one of the King's Guard or whatever, and so is he, and maybe that it just made sense to put them together. But yeah. So then we see Kit come out of nowhere, and again, that's why I think that was a secret passage of some type. So she runs into Jade, and they just have a small conversation, and then Borman, you hear him on the outside, and they ask him questions because they want to make sure it's him, and eventually he comes in, and he's actually looking for the Lux Arcana because when he went back down to the actually I think it was the first time. The first time he went down to the vault, he actually was looking for it. He didn't know where it was. So he enters. He thinks that somebody in the group took it because I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't a voice say something like that? One of the voices that he had heard says something like somebody in your group took an artifact or something like that.
Yeah, you heard the voices. Yeah. So he comes in there. He thinks that one of the girls took it. They have absolutely no idea what they're even talking about. And then we basically get to the end of the episode here, and there's a lot that happens. So, Laura, and this is in 15 minutes. Well, it's about 10 minutes because there's always like 5 minutes intro credits. But
right, and I mean this was awesome because we get to see. So Laura heads back to Graydon, and somehow he's released from the chains, and so that was a little confusing because I don't think Willow would have done that. So I'm a little bit confused on how he actually got out. But anyway, so he's out, and Willow's not there, and he says, "Well, I guess Willow must have let him free because he then says, Willow, he cured me." But now he has the dark essence in him, so we have to help him. So him and Alora start, trying to find him. And of course, where do they have to go? They have to go to the place that Willow said absolutely
Willow told you not to go to.
not to go to, was up into the Dark Tower, I think they called it, like up in the top room. And this is where the big climax of the original movie was.
Mm-hmm.
So when you saw Graydon there the first time you watched it, thoughts?
It was an obvious switcheroo. I obviously knew what was happening. We knew where this was going to go. I was like, okay, so Willow's been knocked out by this dude. He's recovered just in time for her to come into the room. She's the naive little princess girl who's going to believe anything that she's told. So it was, hey, Willow is gone. He's now the bad guy. Yeah. So if Willow was now the bad guy, why would he just disappear? Surely he'd still be now trying to kill everybody because now he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
So that was a bit one thing that was wrong. And then just the naivety of her to just be like, oh, okay, I'll believe you and follow you to the place where we shouldn't be. Like, cool.
Yeah.
We had to have some way of getting to the tower. So
right.
It was a plausible excuse. It was good enough.
It was pulled off so poorly. It was so obvious.
Like, no explanation as to what actually happened to Willow though either. Willow just turns up.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, I don't like, how did he, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, how did he even get free?
I would have rather found him in a cell with chains or with rope around his mouth. Just one scene with him in a corner with rope around his mouth would have been enough.
The only thing I can think of is that maybe when he finally turned, then he was able to just break out of the chains. I guess that's what we're supposed to assume, because I don't know how else he would have got through. And where did Willow go? I mean, and if he just knocks him out, why would you not just kill him? Anyways, what can you do? So that part was a little stupid. I guess.
Jarring, a bit weird, but yeah.
Yeah, it kind of didn't fit with the character.
It just served as a transport piece to get to the tower.
It did. That's all it was. I mean, then they could have done it a different way, but whatever. It's fine. So we get up to the tower, and so Graydon is up there with Allura, and then we see the big turn where it's, I'm the bad guy still, and Allura's like, oh, I can't believe it, and like everyone else knows.
She tries to run away, and the door's closed, and then she turns around instantly and comes back and tries to talk to him like he's okay, and I'm like, he's the bad guy.
Yeah,
it was strange.
It was a little odd, but we do get some of the best stuff from the episode. We almost relive the entire
Bad Water scene.
The entire ending with the disappearing pig trick, which is so good, and basically he's trying to show Allura that Willow's really not even a sorcerer, right? And so we kind of relived that, and he basically says like Bavmora was banished to a different dimension because of her
mistake within the magic.
Right, it was all her fault.
It was her own demise.
Those are the words they used. And and we see that Willow basically did nothing. And so I don't know. I mean, this scene was really cool because I love seeing like just the way they kind of faded in the old scenes with the smoke, and you got to relive that a little bit. And I just thought it was really neat. And I think that's probably why you really like this episode, because of all that, the old nostalgia stuff.
Yeah, the superimposed flashbacks for me were perfect. They worked well. They didn't look jarring. For a movie that was made, 30 years ago, they were superimposed into a 21st century 4K footage, and it actually looked okay. It looked good.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I like the origin. I like the kind of origin story that they went with Badmorda. Wasn't really bad to start with, and she was turned bad, and then she didn't know what she was doing with the magic, and she kind of banished herself accidentally, which was cool. And hey, PDX, yeah.
What's up, PDX? Yeah, it was really neat.
But I think I've always known Willow was never really magical.
Well, right. And I mean, what did we ever really see him do in the movie?
Couldn't even pick the finger right.
I mean, he had an acorn, threw it at Bavmorda, her hand turns to stone, that goes away. We did see him throw an apple and make it bird. I mean, I don't know if that's whatever, but I mean, obviously he does have the stick. So magic is obviously a thing in this universe, but I just don't know how powerful Willow really is, even still. Even though every time he uses any type of magic, we see him fall to the ground, and
he's definitely not got Yoda abilities.
He's not definitely not like Yoda. Now, Graydon had some Yoda abilities. He was kind of lifting Allura up a little bit and stuff. So he lifts her up, kind of almost like where the old, I guess, I don't know if it's a table or what do we want to call it, but that was trying to suck Allura up into the dimension. So he's kind of like moving her to that area. And I don't know. I can't remember exactly what order this happened, but I know at some point, after all the bickering through the episode with Kit finally goes to her and so she does mention to Allura at some point, and maybe it's before this part, but that she did actually end up growing that tree out, that seed. Because earlier in the episode, Allura did mention I couldn't even grow the plant or the tree out of the seed, and because she gets captured at the end of episode 2.
Yeah, by Valentine.
And Kit comes over and actually sees that she grew this huge bush or whatever. So Kit does let her know that, and that kind of lets Allura know that
spurs her on to know that she is actually magical and she's got the abilities that everybody believes that she's got.
Exactly right.
Believe in yourself, girl, because we believe in you. Yeah.
Now, what did you think about the way she removes the essence? So basically, what she does, she kind of like leans over Graydon as he's kind of being held down by, I think Borman and Jade. Because right now at this point, it's weird because Willow got captured by some random stone monster. I don't know what that was, whatever that was. But so she like sucks the essence out of his mouth, I guess. I mean, I guess that's one way to do it. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I thought it was
very strange. Very strange. Very didn't understand it. I was like, so now is it absorbed into you? Have you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
So you turn into bad order now, or I didn't understand. And it was cool because like last week we said we do under every single circumstance we do not want bad order in this show. And then episode 4 we get flashbacks of it, and I was perfectly happy with it. Yeah. Because she didn't return. It was the flashbacks of what was in the previous stuff. So yeah. And PDX again. I'll reach out, buddy. I can help you with watching it. Reach out.
What's up, Christina? How you doing?
Hey, Christina Payne.
So after the essence is gone, or is this during the essence removal? It's somewhere right at the end though. I can't remember if it's before or after. I think it's after, isn't it?
And we're skipping through it now.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it's after. We then see the young kid that we saw earlier with Graydon's father, who we thought was his brother, and they're in like a tree or something. And there's a little kid next to him, and he's kind of like, "Oh, don't worry, I won't let you fall." And then all of a sudden, we see the young kid almost like shove him off the tree. And
you can do this. I'll catch you if you fall.
Yeah, that's what it was. I'll catch you if you fall. Well, what happens is the little kid pushes the brother off, and then we see Graydon at that point is almost like the demon already. So something with the chest. So he already possesses this demon. I think at least that's what I think they're trying to go for. So yeah, here's the scene here. So there's the brother.
I think that's actually Graydon, isn't it?
I don't think that's Graydon. Graydon is the young kid.
Press play from here. He says riding and fighting doesn't make a good ruler. Wisdom does.
Or
come on, Graydon.
Well, okay. So the one on the right is Graydon.
Yeah.
And the one on the left who gets thrown off.
You.
Yeah. And they don't tell you his name.
Yeah, he says I'll catch you if you fall.
And he basically just grabs him and pulls him down. Yep.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then he turns. Fast forward a little bit more, and you'll see him turn into a demon.
Is that it?
Keep going. Oh, okay. So it's during the transfer. I I think they do show him a little bit more like demonized his face. He definitely does not look the same after he does it. But you can see in the picture right there, then the essence goes up into the dimension. But you know, if he was already had some type of demonic presence inside of him, did he have two? Was it just one? I don't know. I guess that's what that's what we're gonna have to continue to watch for and learn to see. Is he completely purified, or is he still or is he just evil like that? So that was a good twist. Like, it kind of like makes sense then of him getting out of the chains a little bit more. It still doesn't make sense to why he wouldn't have just killed Willow if they were left alone. But yeah, I mean,
I'm going to share this one because this goes back to what we were talking about earlier about Borman. I think this is what he got from the vault.
So, you think what?
That little red thing. What's that red thing?
Oh, you think that's what he got? Yeah, I don't remember.
It cuts on him. So what with 123? So if I go back to 117, it's just as they come out of the tunnel here, and we've got a shot on him, and he's playing with something, and it's definitely marking it. Look, and he's realized.
See, I thought he was looking to see, and he's like, "Oh, I had it the whole time," and that's that.
But what's this thing next to it? Why is it so prominently colourful? And it's the first thing you see when it comes on shot. I think it's Disney playing tricks.
To me, you think maybe that was something he got out of that vault? Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, there was definitely a couple good cliffhangers here. I mean, hopefully they, at least cover a couple of these. Hopefully they're not just all theories, but because it does make sense. I mean, because we never see him go back to the vault, but we know he did. Then all of a sudden he does have the Lex Arcana. I think it's Arcana the whole time. That's what it seemed like. We don't know then if Graydon is actually cured or if he's still evil, and yeah, I mean, and we still don't really know what the story with Willow is with what happened with back at the village with his family. So there's like 4 or 5 different things that they're so. And then the other thing is that we did see the portal basically disappear in the picture.
I love this shot. Love this shot with the grey skull mask in the floor. Did you catch it at the end?
Yeah.
I love that shot. And then obviously, if we're going to skip through it a bit, see everybody's back to normal, dressed again, perfect clothes. It's like, where were these? Were they in the washing machine while they were fighting?
Yeah, as they slept overnight, they do them in the wash.
Yeah, like, look, perfect clothes again. Let's kind of just skip through it.
And then we do get the little. Then we see the crone. They're kind of creeping up on them, and they make a mention of
kill everyone else and catch the girl.
Yep, catch the girl, kill everyone else.
And then we fade to black.
No, we have that one next to scene.
Oh yeah.
And then we get to see Eric. We haven't seen him since episode 1.
So the gate's open. He seems to be free.
Yep. So we see him in a gate. We see him in a cell. It's open. He comes out. Now, blow up to the shot at the end. Where do you think he is?
I have no idea.
I was thinking Tails Lee, but it doesn't make sense for him to be there, and it doesn't look like it. So I didn't really know. We only know so many different.
I'm super interested by it though. The realm, the place looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks good.
Nice. And then this shot. Oh
yeah, right there. That looks good.
Wow, you know what I'm like for my wide shots.
yeah. So we don't really know where he is.
It looks like this lost city of something. Willow says it earlier in the episode. We need to get to the lost city, and then she says, "Well, that's on the other side of the world."
So maybe that could just be it then.
Yeah.
But it's funny how there's literally nobody around, which is weird. So there's some theories there,
And then
LJ says that this
really
episode
cool music.
today was better than the last week's. Yeah, LJ, we both agreed that we think that this is probably the best episode, even though it has its own issues, and I'm still not crazy about some of these, jokes. But the second half of the episode, I thought was probably the best of the show so far.
For me, this was my favorite episode of the entire series. I don't believe that this episode has any issues per se. I believe that the issues that are still present have been there from the start, and I think that they'll be there throughout. I don't think that this episode highlights or makes anything worse because of that.
Yeah,
it was good and it was bearable, and yeah, loved it. Yeah, I don't think it will get better. I think that might have been the crescendo. I think it'll just plateau off now. It'll just go steady to the end.
I hope that. I mean, because like I said, this episode, like I said earlier, when we first started, what happened in this episode could have been a 10 or 12-minute scene in a movie. This entire 47 minutes. Like, I mean, they're still kind of building characters, even though we kind of at this point know what the characters are like. Again, Jade, I still think there's more they could be doing with her, because I feel like she was barely even in the episode still. I bet you if you went back and looked, I don't think she had more than 5 minutes of screen time the entire episode. I just don't think she did. She's just not in it.
No, she probably didn't, but I enjoyed her a lot in this episode.
Yeah, this is her best episode for sure.
Why are they still holding on to the romance story reveal? We all know as a viewer that they're into each other. Yeah,
and they made a note of that too.
So why are they holding back from the reveal? Like, are we just going to get a kiss in the final episode and then it's hope and we're all supposed to fall in love with the fact that they're together?
Yeah.
We know from episode 1, I think in the breakdown of episode 1, I mentioned the word lesbians. I knew from episode 1 that there was a love romance with the two characters.
Yep.
Why in episode 4 is it still being teased?
The only thing I can think of is that something's going to happen in the last episode, that somehow they're going to be separated. I think that's what they're trying to get to.
Kit's going to realize that she actually loves Jade, and then they're going to get separated. And then season 2 is going to be about Kit trying to find Jade.
Something like that. I bet you. I bet you they get separated somehow. I mean, maybe not at the end of the series, but at some point in the last episode, or hopefully it's not like next week, and then we have to go search for Jade for 2 episodes, because that's not, Yeah, I mean, okay, so we're over an hour here.
We're done with the episode. Yeah, we got to Vader to
we're done with the episode. So we'll just talk for a few minutes about what you think that we could see next week. So you said,
what did you score the episode first? Let's finish up with episode. Let's leave episode 4 done. What did you score it?
Oh yeah, scores. So I think last week I said that episode was like a 7.5 or 8. I would give this a really solid 8 out of 10, because
what did I give last week? Like a 4
or something like that. Yeah, it was really low.
So go ahead. Why are you giving it an 8?
Because I do think it was the best episode. I liked them bringing back some of the old characters and lines. Again, the jokes I could do without the jokes. For me, that's probably the most annoying part, because every time I hear them make a joke, I just roll my eyes. I'm like, that was stupid. Like, it's not Willow. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. There's comedy in it without those one-liner jokes. I like Borman in this episode. I'm really curious to see now, because I didn't even think about what you said with the vault. So I'm really curious to see if that plays out. I hope it does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really interested in Willow's part of the story, because then it just will make sense of how he's been acting.
Because he's hiding something, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely hiding something. And I just think we're going to find out that he either killed his wife or something. And maybe it is, like I said, like I think Umpty said last week, or the first time we did a live with this, he said something about maybe his son is actually the one who's kind of setting all this in motion, which will be interesting.
Maybe his son's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to also score this an 8. Like, I literally doubled my value from last week to this week. Yeah. A fantastic episode. Loved it. Brought me back into it. Just let's hope that it stays around that for next week. I would give it an 8 again, purely for some similar reasons to you. That was the nostalgia feel, the way they even did it as well. Like I've already said they superimposed a lot of old footage in, but it looked really good.
Yeah,
they made me care about a character that I hated previously, that being Jade. Yeah, I'm super in. I'm into it. Like I said, I watched it a couple of times, and I'd probably rewatch it again.
Yeah, like last week's episode, I thought was good. The second half, the first half, I thought was awful. Like even in this episode, they did mention something. I think Laura mentions it. I don't know, maybe it's probably Kit. Man does mention those 2 girls in the woods, and I like she started talking about it, and I didn't even care, because I'm like, it was so dumb, and it was a waste of like 15 minutes, because we ended up in the same place anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my problem with last week's episode. But the second half of last week's episode, I did like. I did like it. But
good seeing you there, LJ. LJ said, yeah, he hopes it would get better than last week's. Just hopes it gets better. Yeah. So where do you think it's going? Predictions. What do you think?
So I mean, obviously, they're leaving there, so I have to believe that they're going to now go look for Eric. I'm still kind of figuring out like what was the real purpose of them going in the castle to begin with. Was it literally just to save Great? I guess it was, but they couldn't. I mean, I guess they needed supplies. I don't know. It just is weird that the castle happened to be there, and then we got all this strange stuff. Like it's not like they were. I mean, I guess they were headed toward the portal too. I guess it makes sense, but yeah, I think at this point they're just headed to find Eric, and
So do you believe that we're going to get a journey to Eric for episode 5, and then we'll find Eric 6, 7, 8? Or do you believe episode 5 there's going to be no journey and we'll be instantly in this place next week?
No, I don't think they'll actually find Eric by 6. I think we have one more full episode without them actually finding him. I think what we're going to do is we're going to see Eric in that area, and something's going to happen with him. So we'll have 2 separate storylines going, and maybe they'll arrive there in 6, maybe even at the end of episode 6. So there's going to be some type of little side thing they got to do again next week.
I believe they're going to be trying to get away from the people that are like chasing them. Like at the end of the episode, they go kill the people, save the girl. So I feel like episode 5 will just be them getting away from them.
You think that's next episode? So I feel like those dudes have been following them for like 3 episodes though. We just, they've given us like a little shots of the people we've been, following.
And that's give me devil dogs next week. Give me devil dogs.
Yeah, I need some devil dogs for sure.
Devil dogs and brownies. Brownies saves the day. That's what I need next week. I need a brownie to save the day.
I need some brownies. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't think they're going to be.
I don't think we'll get brownies in the season.
You don't think we're going to?
No.
I feel like we need more characters, though.
I know, but how do you introduce a brownie into it so late? You should have been episode 1. Oh, they're connected somehow with the Willow secret.
The brownies are?
Yeah, they could be.
I'm trying to think. The brownies. What do the brownies do at the end of Willow?
They're just cheering. They're all happy in the tree. They're sitting on the branches going, yay!
So they're still at the castle. I don't know. I mean, I hope we see brownies. I mean, I feel like brownies and Willow is the same.
I don't think we will. I really don't think we will. But that's just a prediction.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think next week there will definitely. I think we'll find out maybe a little more about Willow, but I don't think we'll actually find that all out into the. I think that's going to be in the last
crescendo.
Episode. Yeah, I think that'll be the last episode. I think in the last episode we'll find out something about Jaden, if he's actually still evil. I hope he is, because I like him much more as evil than I do as a bumbling idiot, because that's what I look at him as. He's probably my least. Kit's pretty bad too, but he's probably my least favorite character, honestly, right now, when he's like just acting like the prince. But I liked him as the evil guy. That was much better.
Yeah, he definitely did a better performance as the bad guy.
Yeah. Jade, again, I want to hear more. I would love for her to have some type of connection to General Kale. I mean, you can bring back General Kale whenever the heck you want. I mean, yeah, he died, but that's like the one character that you don't have to show his face, and you can have anybody play him. So
yeah, I forgot Jade was even in Winter Soldier. I was watching Winter Soldier the other week. And she's in that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, Winter Soldier. Yeah, she is. Yeah. So.
Yeah, she was doing that.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything else, man?
That's pretty much it, dude. No, I'm pretty much willowed out for Willow. Yeah.
So
we'll give predictions, we'll give scores, we broke down the episode.
So I mean, we'll break down a little bit more on Monday when you have some slides, and I'm sure I'll watch it one more time. Because I mean, we really, because we even broke down any long. Have you broke down any episode?
No.
Not even. Well, we did 1, 2, and 3 together, right?
We spoke about 1, 2, and 3. We just didn't have the slideshow.
We didn't do the slideshow, so we'll break down some scenes a little bit more on Monday, and then we'll be back Wednesday. I'll be out of town, but we're still going to do it. Might be a little later next Wednesday, and also the following Wednesday. So just kind of stay tuned to my socials, and I'll kind of keep you updated. Right now, they're scheduled for 10:30 Eastern. It's a little later. It just kind of depends because I'll be out of town for those 2 Wednesdays. Yeah, and then tomorrow, you have nothing going on tomorrow, right?
No, nothing going on tomorrow. I'm filming with Hojo tomorrow. Nothing live.
Okay.
I'm gonna be filming with him at some point. But yeah, nothing going on.
Okay.
Nothing planned. So we'll see who if anyone's doing anything.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'll probably drop. I mean, I'm hoping to get my DC.
I'll be giving. Oh no, tomorrow I'm giving you information because you need stuff for Sunday's live by tomorrow. Remember you said you needed it by Thursday, so.
Yeah. So you can just I think I got pretty much got everybody else's stuff. Yeah. So
a good night.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So quick schedule. I know there's only a few people watching, but anybody watching on replay, and I'll post this on all my socials probably tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm gonna hopefully get my series 1 DC NFT physical pops. So I'll do a quick video on that. I'll show those off. Saturday, I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing. I'll probably put that up tonight. 8 p.m. Is that work for you? 8 p.m. my time. So that's like, what is that? 1 a.m. for you?
Something like that, yeah.
So Saturday, that'll work. Okay. So Saturday for maybe like an hour and a half or so, we're going to do some Jackbox TV on Saturday evening. That starts at 8 p.m. We'll have 4 or 5 people up here, and then chat. You're more than welcome to join in and play. We will be doing our big live on Sunday at 7 p.m. We'll have the luau. Ryan will be here. Charles will be here. Johnny Funko will be here.
Johnny Funko, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have we're gonna have like 6 people on, and we're gonna be going over our top 5 Funko products of 2022, and then we're also gonna be doing our top 5
pickups of 2022.
Pickups of the year. Doesn't have to be a 2022 item. It could be just anything you got this year. And we're also going to be reviewing a few of our least favorite products. I think it's going to be a great live. So that's 7 p.m. Sunday Eastern. And then then we'll be back on your channel on Monday, breaking down Willow between 7 and 8 Central. And then Stable Clips
Tuesdays. Yeah.
This Tuesday. Yep. So
Horseman Tuesday next week. This Tuesday coming, and then we're off the Tuesday after Christmas.
Yeah. So all right. Yeah. So I opened up some new NFTs today for Elf. So check that out if you haven't. And I also dropped a short with my puppy, which is pretty funny. So
I dropped some shorts today.
Yeah, I saw it. It's good, dude.
I dropped a couple. I did the I'm Sexy and I Know It one, which was good. And I did
I saw this. So I saw that one on TikTok. Did you put it on YouTube too?
I put it on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram.
Instagram. Okay, yeah, I saw it on TikTok. That was funny.
Yeah, I did that one, and then I did the one referring to this live tonight, where I bought Chinese, and I wanted to know what you would buy with Chinese.
Yeah. I mean, shorts can be fun. It's just
I'm trying.
Yeah, it's finding your niche. You know, you got to find something that you like to do, and that you find that people view it. Because it is.
Well, my shorts are just going to be completely sporadic. They will never be unified in the same format. It will be 1 minute I'm falling off a tree, 1 minute I'm about to get run over. You know, it'll be so random. Yeah,
and that's why I find works instead of always just doing something about Funko or a collectible. My dogs are hilarious. Sometimes I'll just pull out the camera and I'll just throw.
I just wind you up about it. I love the dog videos.
Yeah, that's right. But all right, guys. Appreciate you guys all being here. Appreciate all the support. Don't forget to like on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't. For Ryan Milky, I want you all to stay milky. Stay milky. Especially
and
when you're
don't forget to keep those heads on.
That's right. There you go. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. All right. We'll see you guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Goodbye.